What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Omzy here, and I am here with Death Note episode 12. Coincidentally, it is called Love. So obviously, if you guys didn't for some reason see the last episode, finally got introduced to Misa, which was a character I have seen everywhere promotional wise for this show, and finally we got introduced to her. I'm very excited to see what she adds to the series, because my one friend has been telling me she is a blast of a character and you're probably going to love her. So obviously, I got a little bit of what her motivation was in the last episode. Obviously, she was the one behind all the killings in front of the Sakura TV building, and obviously she was the one that gave Sakura TV the tapes, which caused the whole damn police force to get Chief Yagami out of that building as quick as possible. But yeah, she was basically doing that to try to get the real Kira to notice her. And she's basically, I wouldn't say a secret admirer, but she's like probably a fan. But now that she not only has the damn Shinigami eye, but obviously the Death Note as well, she could probably be a little bit more powerful than Kira. And I don't know if that will factor into this show, where maybe she'll try to take Kira's spot, maybe, even though she's really not Kira. But now with her having half of her kind of lifespan, obviously with the Shinigami eye, who knows with this character? I'm just assuming stuff at this point, but I am just really interested to see where this character goes and how her and Light, when they first interact, which could be in this episode, how they go about it. Because, I mean, the episode says love, so who honestly knows? But with that out of the way, we are getting straight into the show. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys like my reaction, like, subscribe, comment down below. And if you guys want to get notified on when we release those videos, definitely smash that notification bell. But with that being said, let's get right into the episode. It's finally time.
As much as you do, Ryuga. I'll have to ask that you call me Ryuzaki here.
Ryuzaki.
I'm Matsui. I'm Aihara. And I'm Asahi. Yes, of course. Then perhaps I should call myself Light Asahi?
Light
yes,
Asahi.
To keep things simple from this point on, I'll call you Light.
The previous night.
We need to ask Light Yagami to assist us. However, we cannot tell him that we're considering the possibility of a second Kira. Are you serious? But wouldn't that make working together a bit difficult? He's right. Why even bother asking him to work with us? Well, I didn't mean indefinitely. I'm curious to see what his impression of these tapes will be prior to knowing ours. Light's
Copy
deductive
one.
reasoning is really quite incredible. This Kira demanded only that I appear on TV, but made no request for my name. This implies that the second Kira only needs to see a person's face to kill them.
There you go.
So I'll ask Light to look over all of our information as well as our video evidence. If he comes to the conclusion that there could be a second suspect, then he'd be almost completely cleared of suspicion in this case. But how will that prove anything? Logically, if he's really Kira, he'll want me dead, seeing as I'm the one leading the investigation against him right now.
Yeah.
And the way things are going, if I comply with this new subject's demands and appear on TV in 3 days, there's a very good chance I will die.
But are you suggesting that if my son does not come to the same conclusion, there's an even greater chance that he is guilty?
No. In that case, there will still only be a 5% chance.
Only 5%
We'll inform him
chance.
that we are investigating the possibility of a copycat and have him cooperate with us as planned.
A lot of things going around. A lot of things going on.
This video is so mediocre. It's making me sick to my stomach. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm the real one, but this is a complete disgrace to everything Kira stands for.
I knew he was honestly going to say that.
I'd be stupid to comment on it. It's probably best if I say nothing. If I just leave it alone, Elle dies. So, what do you make of this, Light? Have you come to any conclusions? Damn,
boy.
it's a test.
Damn, it's a test.
I can't say for sure, but there might be another person out there with Kira's power.
With Kira's power? But what do you mean by that, Light?
At the very least, I'd say this tape was not created by the Kira we're familiar with. It's extremely out of character for him to use these kinds of victims for his killings. And since we've established that he needs a name and face to kill, it makes you wonder how he was able to kill that detective and those 2 officers right outside the television station like that. It's the same.
It's the same.
Almost exactly how Ryuzaki said it. So you knew about this all along, Ryuzaki? Which means this was just another one of your tests? It wasn't my intention to test you. The truth is, if I was the only one who thought there was a second Kira, it wouldn't be too convincing. But the fact that we both came to the same conclusion makes the theory that much more believable. As expected, you did not disappoint us. You've been a great help.
You've been a great help.
It's decided then. We could lure him into a trap by sending our own message from the real Kira.
I guess I shouldn't
Like
be surprised. You literally took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, and Light, I would like you to play the part of the real Kira.
Oh.
Kira?
Yes, you're the only one I can think of who'd be able to pull something like this off.
Oh shit.
Anyway, we don't have time to waste. Do you think you could script a message from Kira in time for it to be aired on this evening's national news?
Fucking Ryuk.
An anonymous individual has contacted us claiming to be the real Kira. In short, he has demanded of this network, as well as several others, that we air the message you are now about to see. I would also like to mention that the NPA has granted us permission to air this video. Is this the real Kira? No one knows for sure, but we can only hope this video will provide us with some much-needed answers.
I am Kira.
It worked! I knew he'd answer me.
True Kira. The one who was broadcast on Sakura TV several days ago is a pretender, a fake. The purpose of this message
Oh
is to
my
give my
god.
will to this imposter. I have chosen to be lenient with him for the time being, only because I believe he wishes to cooperate with me in the creation of a new world.
Wow, just the
I want
little
to make it
details.
absolutely clear that
Her
the
room
case
tells a lot.
is against my will. If this person claiming to be me is truly sympathetic to my cause and wishes to be of some help,
Whoa.
I ask two things of him: that he refrain from killing aimlessly, and that he agree to abide by my basic principles.
Yay! Now where is that camcorder?
What are you planning to do?
Hello? Do you really need to ask? I'm going to reply to him, of course.
Oh my god.
Ryuzaki, we have a reply from the second Kira.
What?
Kira, thank you for your reply. Please do not worry. I will follow orders and do as you say.
Whoa, it worked. I will do as you say, huh? This guy's gonna be no help at all. If this fake had any idea what my wishes were, he'd insist that Elle appear on TV and then kill him anyway. How could you fall for something like this? Damn it.
I really want to meet you. I don't think you have the eyes. But you don't have to worry. I would never try to kill you. That's
Damn.
What the hell is he thinking? Talking about Shinigami eyes in a public message like this.
What's
Wow.
this having the eyes supposed to be?
Oh shit.
Please tell me how I can meet you without the police knowing. You'll think of something. When we meet, we can confirm our identities by showing our Shinigami to each other.
Oh!
He's a liability. If I don't do something about him quick.
You need to shut that thing off.
Ryuzaki!
Holy shit.
Shinigami? Am I supposed to believe that? Did Shinigami actually exist?
This girl just... Oh, I said it in the last episode. This girl was gonna change everything. Oh my god. This girl. Oh my god.
Shinigami? Am I supposed to believe that? That Shinigami actually exist?
That's impossible. Obviously, they don't exist. Yes, that's right, Ryuzaki. Listen to yourself. Of course Shinigami don't exist.
Oh my god.
You're probably right, but I remember that Kira had those prisoners write something suggesting the existence of Shinigami.
Shinigami.
So based on that fact, perhaps we're dealing with the same person after all.
If this was the same person, it's highly unlikely he would have responded to our video in the first place. And why would he agree to let Elle live after going to all
He
the
is
trouble of
shook.
getting him to appear on TV? The real Kira wants him dead, so it doesn't make sense.
Maybe there's some other connection between the real one and this new guy. It's as Light says. If the two Kiras were connected, I don't think the imposter would be so willing to give up on his plan to kill me. All of this suggests to me that the copycat has his own agenda and is acting independently of the first. I believe his actual motivation is to meet the original.
I think you're right. He's acting out of an interest in Kira. The word Shinigami could very well be some reference to their killing power. Saying we can confirm our identities by showing our Shinigami to each other probably means that they confirm their identities by somehow demonstrating their ability to kill.
Yes, that's it.
This dude just loves
Based on their
stirring
messages,
this.
we assume that the word Shinigami must hold some other meaning that only the real Kira and the second
Like being able to
Kira
turn what anybody
Now,
else is thinking. That's definitely one of his main traits. What I like
To
about
respond
him.
and force him to be more specific, we have to be careful how we handle this. We can't make it too obvious that we're asking, otherwise he'll realize we're not Kira.
Now, if I were Kira himself, my priority would be to prevent this imposter from coming into contact with the police.
Yeah.
This is good for us, because it means that the real Kira may feel pressured to respond this time.
Okay, but let's say that he doesn't respond. Then what do we do?
Yes, I've been thinking about what the second Kira might do if he gets no response. For one, he might reveal more information that he knows Kira once kept secret.
Yeah, she's just gonna keep blurting out
Of course,
everything.
that would make Kira nervous. In the meantime, let's gather all the information we can on this copycat.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
So is she? I assume she's a model.
Perfect. I'm telling you, these are gonna knock him dead. You look like a little angel, Misa.
An angel.
So tired.
An angel
That
of
shit went
death.
on forever. Modeling takes a lot of energy. Hey, Rem.
Rem.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Each Shinigami has to have one death note of their own. For a Shinigami to give a notebook to a human, he needs to have two. Ryu could give a death note to Kira because he somehow found a way to sneak an extra one past the Shinigami King.
Right.
What about you?
The Shinigami King isn't someone who's easily fooled. It doesn't happen often.
Oh, then how did I get mine?
Let's just say it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm one of the few in the Shinigami realm who knows how to kill another of my kind. That's how I ended up with two.
Oh, I think I get it. You killed a Shinigami and then you gave his notebook to me, right?
It's not like that. I wasn't the one who killed him. I just happened to be around when he died.
And then just stumbled upon it. Okay.
So, how do you kill a Shinigami? I have to know. Well,
Never repeat this to anyone. I learned the only way to kill a Shinigami is to make them fall in love with a human.
Huh?
what a beautiful way to kill.
So that's the reason for the title.
There once was a Shinigami named Jealous who spent all of his time watching over a certain human girl. Jealous wanted nothing more than to look at her as she went about her daily life. It's today, isn't it? Her last day alive.
She looks so full of life. I wonder why today. It's just not fair.
I also wanted to find out how she was going to die, so I stayed and watched with him. It was nighttime and she was walking alone. No one else was around. And then it happened.
Oh, she got stabbed.
A man suddenly appeared and blocked her path. He was clearly infatuated with the girl.
I love you more than anyone else in the world. I always wanted to be you. I want to protect you forever.
She'd never seen the man before, and of course, turned him down. If I can't have you,
No one can.
I'll kill us
wait, stop it. What are you doing? Without even thinking, Jealous did something that we Shinigami must never do.
Huh.
Jealous used his death note to kill the man instantly.
Yeah.
And therefore saved the girl's life. It was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, and then he died.
Shinigami exist only to shorten and take human lives. We aren't permitted to undo that which has been fated.
Huh. Wow, that's crazy.
At that moment, Jealous became something which was neither sand nor rust and disappeared forever. He died.
And then the
only reminder of his existence was his
death note.
left behind.
Wow.
The rest of his lifespan was added to hers. So not only had he saved her life, he'd accidentally extended it well beyond its natural end.
Wow.
So if he'd never fallen in love with this girl, he'd probably still be alive today, wouldn't he?
That's right.
If he wouldn't have done what he did, yeah.
I had no idea. All this time I thought it was luck, but it was a Shinigami who saved my life that day.
Yes. Jealous loved you enough to die for you. So that death note is now yours to keep.
Wow.
For a Shinigami to die, they have to love a human enough that they prevent their death from happening. So what about you, Rem? You're not in love with me, are you? Be honest.
Just forget it.
Just forget
you
it.
Think you can kill me that easily?
Oops, you saw through that? I'm so glad. At least now I have something interesting to tell Kira. But I wonder, does he know how to K-I-L-L a Shinigami? I asked him on TV to find a way for us to meet each other, but he hasn't replied to me yet.
Oh, he
What's
will.
taking him so long?
Oh, he
Maybe I
fucking
should
will.
just send him another message.
That's what they want if you want to. Give him more info.
This isn't good. I can't allow this second kid to act on his own for much longer. He's careless, so it's only a matter of time before he slips up, and when he does, the police will be waiting. With him in custody, they could find out about the death note.
Oh, shit.
A strawberry sundae, please.
Of course. Be right back.
Wow.
What should I do? How can I contact the second kid without Elle noticing anything?
Just walk 3 rows behind you.
There you go. Enjoy.
I can't wait to meet Kira.
I wonder, what kind of person are you, imposter?
I wonder, what kind of person are you, Kira?
This is such an interesting dynamic, and it freaking works. Wow. Okay, oh my god, a lot to uncover in this episode. First thing, Misa's character in this episode alone was hilarious and was definitely unexpected. When she told, obviously, Kira, and just, I just love how she's just blurting everything out. And obviously, she's not only a fan, but she's new to this. So she's just blurting everything out wide in the open. There's a difference between Misa, like obviously Misa and Light. Misa just probably doesn't have a care in the world and will probably blur everything out, and plus being new. Light takes things very strategically, and he knows what to say and what not to say. With mentioning Shinigami, not even only shook the task force, but shook Elle as well. He was shook because all the freaking notes and everything that he's been receiving, obviously from Light, just more and more confirms this right here, and just kind of more confirms with, oh, what power, like, is this really happening? Is this really what I am dealing with? This is really real, basically. But no, this dynamic is very, very interesting. I was not expecting this off of this episode, where basically she would just not kind of shut up. Like, she would literally be a fan of just being like talking, basically talking to Kira for the very first time, is like asking him multiple questions, and basically this would be more info for the task force and the police. Like, no matter, like, even if she gets a response once they review the or when she sees the reply from the real Kira in the next episode, she's probably going to most likely give him more info. And I love how this favors the police and Elle. This is not favoring Light whatsoever. Every time she probably is going to say something, for who knows how long this is going to go on for, this is just going to keep pissing off Light more and more. And honestly, I find it hilarious. But now that's what I think of that dynamic, and who knows if this will continue. I think probably the only thing I will go into on this episode, obviously the ending, and basically learning how Shinigami can be killed. Really, really interesting kind of backstory. It didn't really click into my head like, oh, that was her. But then it clicked like, oh my god, it all makes sense now. Like, there's a reason why she got the death note. There's a reason why Rem is explaining this to her. And And I love the overall scene with, obviously, Kira's reply going on in the background, but just I was about to say cinematography, but just the animation with just showing what kind of person she kind of is with her, like what's in her room. Like, that's very interesting. It's very good camera work. I like that, especially when other movies out there or shows out there do that kind of cinematography work. That's really, really good. That is able to show and not tell what kind of a person that one person you're trying to find out kind of is. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, oh, like Shinigami, like, can be killed. They fall in love with a human. But it's also something that she kind of said, if the Shinigami prevent somebody from dying that is supposed to be fate, that could also be something too. Unless that's what she was alluding to. I don't really know. But that's what I was getting about, because they have specific roles that they are given. Obviously, all the damn Shinigami. But if they prevent something that is going to be fate, they will die. So that's probably it. So I've been rambling on for a little bit too long. But overall, this episode was really, really good. Nice way to more kind of introduce Misa's character a little bit more and give her more character development. So it's definitely going to be an interesting dynamic, especially with the end of this episode between Misa and Light. So I honestly can't wait for these two people to meet and freaking Light to just be stumped even more. And now for him to think even more like, oh my God, not only is she a girl, but she's definitely not what I expected. Let's just say that. But overall, thank you guys for watching my reaction. You guys are excited for the rest of Death Note, and you guys like the channel, like, subscribe, comment down below. And as always, my name is Omzy, and I am out.